City then had to battle to take that victory to the full-time whistle. Wolves hit the post through Matheus Cunha. They had one or two chances on top, but never really threatened. And in the end, City have got the victory. They're very, very close now to the points haul you feel might just be enough to get them into the top 5 and into the Champions League. At the moment, they're in third, 2 points ahead of Newcastle, 4 ahead of Chelsea, and 4 ahead of Nottingham Forest. It's going to go to the wire, but at the moment, City are where they want to be, deep inside that top 4. The final score, KDB's goal settles it. City 1, Wolves 0. Well, let's go back to the studio. It was a nervy one, but City got the job done. Cal, over to you.
Full time at the ETIHAD Stadium, and it is finished now. The first half finished. Manchester City 1, Wolves 0. All down to that man right there. Posters of appreciation, cheers and songs of appreciation, and that man has done it again to secure those all-important 3 points as we enter the final few stages of this Champions League qualification race. Great performance, so I don't think 1-0 tells the full story, and you have to say this evening, Michael Brown, if it was almost written in the stars. We kind of said that a little bit at half-time for that man again, Kevin de Bruyne, to do the business.
Well, that's what we want. We want him to have a brilliant send-off, that's for certain, because of what he's delivered inside the stadium and for the football club. Such talent, such aura about him now, a real leader. So yeah, nice and fitting for that ending. Obviously, he'd be really, really pleased. Just having a little look around, isn't he? Going, yeah, I can still do it. I can still contribute to games and win them for you and make the difference. So a really good night for Kevin de Bruyne, but really, most importantly, a brilliant night for the team to obviously get those 3 points to push right into those Champions League places.
Absolutely. Well, before we come back to the studio here, where I'm also joined by Wolves legend Lee Naylor, we can actually go pitchside now. FG is with your commentator today, Kit Simons. Let's hear from them right now, live from the pitch at the full-time whistle.
Yes, welcome back to the ETIHAD. Manchester City 1, Wolves 0. And first things first, a very, very tight game.
It was, yeah. They came to the right goal. They're a good side in brilliant form, Wolves. We knew it'd be difficult. Probably rode on luck a little bit, but we got there in the end. Great goal by KDB.
Now I want to show you guys what's happening here on Matchday Live. We'll step to one side, Kit, and just take a look at the amount of fans here appreciating the players we have. And in particular, on this side, we made 3 substitutions at one point in that half together, and they were all Manchester City Academy graduates, and we can see 2 of them here on this side thanking the fans.
We'll bring you back some of that footage there, so we just lost it a little bit. I think it was probably just the love and applause for Kevin de Bruyne was a little bit.
I think we'd heard enough of FG. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I'm normally down here on pitch side with him. Yeah. Now I know how this sometimes doesn't work. We're sat there going, can it happen, can it not? Yeah. But I'm in the comfy studio. We're not worried about anything, Kel, are we?
Right, we're going to try again. Here we go, take 2.
But then getting Akanji back in as well, getting more options, so it's great to see.
Well, listen, a happy Friday, a good Friday for Manchester City. Now it's over to the rest who are chasing for the top 5, but it's still in our hands. Kit, great to hear from you throughout. Amazing work commentating as always, and see you again soon. Let's head back to a very happy-ish studio. There is one Wolverhampton Wanderers representative in the studio, and as always, we send our regards.
Thanks, Kit. Thanks, FT. We just got a goodbye from you there in the end, and that's sometimes all you need. We've got Wolves legend Lee Naylor here, and Lee, I think obviously 1-0, not the result you wanted, but an amazing performance I felt from Wolves, and again unlucky in the second half with Cunha hitting the post for a second time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a better first half than second half from Wolves. Yeah. I thought they could have laid on the pressure a little bit more in that second half. Obviously, they had that chance on Cunha from absolutely nothing, I'll be honest with you. How he generated that power for that side foot he's been doing that all season. But yeah, for me, just needed a bit more impetus on putting Man City under pressure. Yeah. I don't think we did that. I thought Man City, they took control of the game. second half.
And is that kind of what it was about? I think we touched upon that at half time. The getting that control of the game, Michael Brown, and basically no matter what, securing those 3 points. That's, I know it's obvious, but that was the main thing today.
Control, patience, wait and delay wherever possible, game management. That's what we've seen from the team, didn't we? Right towards the end, we've seen some nice clips, aren't we? Where there's a little bit of banter going on between former players, etc., of different football clubs. It's nice that players can obviously play in a game, get on afterwards. I think that's important. You don't always see these shots. I think that's really good to see, isn't it? Do you know what sometimes happens? Generally, it's a little bit later on when we see this. But there's obviously a lot of players who know each other for obvious reasons. But just going back to City, finally, you've seen Pep trying to get the crowd G'd up to try and make sure that we kept that clean sheet, you know what I mean, kept it tight and just maybe delayed, going long if you have to, whatever it needed just to get that result. It's a big, big result that. You know, we've seen a real turn in performances and desire.
Yeah, and we know this run in. We were looking at the fixtures for the 5-6 teams that are in this race. And I think you mentioned as well, and Pepper said it, every game is a final. It doesn't matter, and you'll know when you're in them type of run-ins, it doesn't matter how you do it. And you maybe not the expansive City way we used to see it at the ETIHAD, but just get across the line.
Yeah, it's not about performance, it's about result.
Yeah.
This stage of the season. Obviously the manager wants to see, you know, his team play his way, but I'm sure he'll take wins over performances at this stage of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we look into that second half, obviously it was 1-0. We mentioned Cunha hit the post. Feel as well, actually, they were fashioning a few other chances. What do you think it was? Was it just missing a bit of a killer instinct in that final?
Yeah, I think making the changes when he did, and the players that came on didn't really have an impact. And you know, you look into your bench and you want your subs to make an impact. I don't feel they did.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the threat went away then.
Yeah, the threat went away. City kind of then were able to coast a little bit. There was a great moment, Brownie, I just wanted to turn out when the 3 substitutions that were brought on were 3 Manchester City Academy graduates. I mean, Phil Foden, James McAtee, Rico Lewis. It's amazing to see that for fans and for the club and for the academy.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, isn't it? Because that's what obviously we're all very much aware of. The improvement in the academy year on year out, and now for them to see these players getting more involvement, I think that's a really good plus point. I think it's undoubtedly one of the best, isn't it? That's for certain. But yeah, just looking at it, Akanji had to come on, didn't he?
Yeah.
He decided to bring him on, get him some minutes, and put Josko Vardy to left back. I think that was a key point about experience. That's what he said in the dressing room at half time. How do we grind it out? How do we see? You know, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
Because the new type, we said at half time, didn't we, at 1-0, it could be very, very dangerous, and it was.
Yeah, it was indeed. As you say, that hitting the post and a few other chances. I just wanted to mention as well, while I'm speaking of the academy, in the FA Youth Cup final for 2 years on the bounce as well, which is, I mean, you'll know as young players as well, it's massive, that competition, and a growing testament to the academy and our young boys there. So massive congratulations. Not the result Wolves wanted, but speaking of building blocks, they're building something, and are you quite excited, obviously, for the final few games, but to see what happens in the summer and what to reap the rewards of that come the new season?
Yeah, I think the manager will be looking towards next season now. As soon as we got over the line of us being safe, I think it was all guns blazing on how can we improve next season? Who can we bring in? The recruitment needs to be right. The player that comes into our dressing room needs to mix in the right way. And I think it's massively important this summer for us.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the table then. Here it stands. This is as it stands. So, of course, Nottingham Forest have got a couple games there in hand, but obviously Newcastle, Chelsea, Villa all to play over the weekend. It does as well just put that little bit of pressure on, doesn't it? City are able to set the tone this weekend and go, we've got our 3 points, over to you. Some big games, but it's looks okay from a City point of view at the moment, Michael.
Yeah, it does look. It looks a lot better. I think all we can do is just literally continue winning. Yeah. Just as normal. I think you can look at the results this week and say, well, that's happened, this has happened. You know full well what the sort of call from Pep Guardiola will be in the next game is we've got to win. We've got to dominate every single game now and finish on a real high. I think we've got obviously a cup final to look forward to. Can we win every single game now? I think that will be the message then rest, look forward to the summer. I think that's always the one. So even when we win 4 in a row, Pep still says, come on, we've got to win the next one. So it's you've got to do this better, that better. But yeah, it is looking good.
Yeah.
We've seen a sort of bit more of a continuity where we've seen inconsistency before.
Absolutely. Great line that. Consistency where we've not seen it before. Nice. There you go. Of course, speaking of keeping that consistency then, Southampton is up next, and no easy game in the Premier League, but they've really struggled this season, Lee. Obviously, sadly going down, they've not really managed to accumulate many points. We are going to St Mary's, but you'd like to think be business as usual and important for City to keep this winning one going, as Brownie said.
100%. I don't think the message will be any different from Pep. His message will be, let's go and win this game. Let's do it in our way and how we want. But the pressure needs to be on. Again, it's our cup final. We need to win these. We need to win these next few.
Yeah.
And we need to, cement our place in the Champions League.
And I guess Brownie as well, that's not that it could, but they're the type of ones that could be a banana skin. You're expected to go win. They've got, 11, 12 points this season. But then it being at St Mary's, it could be, you never know what they might pull out of the bag, so you have to be on your A game. Yeah,
you've got to be, they've had a little bounce, obviously a manager change.
Yep.
Once that relegation goes over the line, the pressure's almost gone.
Yeah.
And so saying, right, how do we go? Who's going to stay? Who's going to impress somebody else to go and get a move into the Premier League? That's always really the talking points, or what it would be like in the dressing room. Can we end with some positivity? It's been a really poor performance from them, hasn't it? Let's be honest. I think it didn't help with maybe a couple of the signings or the recruitment they had at the start of the season. So I'm looking forward to the Southampton game. I'm going to be there. I think it's a game that we're just going to take head on. I don't doubt anything else, and hopefully we'll come out with a convincing win.
Absolutely. Well, gents, that's a perfect point to wrap it up. Michael Brown, an absolute pleasure as always, and I've got to say it was an absolute delight, Lee, to have you on.
No, thank you for having me.
No, it's
pleasure.
Been absolute pleasure, Lee. Please do come back, and you can tell me a few more of them stories about Julian off camera. But we're going to finish with this really lovely story here. You might remember we have a Manchester City fan over in China called Waits. He's a brilliant blue. We've had him on Matchday Live a couple of times. He's appeared on our fan wall. Well, he was here this evening. He was sat a few rows behind the dugout, but he was not alone. He was with his son. It was his son's first Manchester City game, which is always a special moment for anyone who's got a kid, or maybe when you were a kid and came to your first game. So we got FG to catch up with him earlier, and we'll be back, of course, for the next City game. But thanks again. Thanks for joining us. Have a lovely weekend. It's 3 points in the bag. Onwards we go. And Waits, great to see you at the Etihad, mate.
OK, joining us, a man you might have seen on Matchday Live numerous times. But wait, first things first, welcome back to the Etihad. It's this young man's first game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my second, but it's my son's first game. Yeah.
And how was that? Did you enjoy that?
Enjoy it. He can't speak English, I can translate.
So let's talk about Kevin de Bruyne. You've seen probably one of his final goals, potentially his final goal here at the Etihad Stadium. How nice was it to be here?
Just, so thrilled, I'm so excited, and really did something for him. And can I show it?
Please do. Thank you, Kevin. There you go. That is absolutely amazing. Listen, thank you for travelling so far to watch us. It's great to see you again at the Etihad, and hopefully we'll see you again soon, and the young man can watch City some more.
Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you very much. Take care. Thank you.
Man City, they've only got one in, one out over the transfer window. Roord.
British record transfer, Roord.
Roord's going to have a good year. I think she's got a point to prove.
It was pretty early on in the game, so after 8 minutes, it happened.
There could be some trouble here for Manchester City. Roord went down.
Jill doesn't really ever go down. I've never seen her go down.
I think my reaction was pretty clear. Like, my family knew immediately that it was bad.
When you see a player go down like that, you obviously fear the worst. The minute she heard the word ACL rupture, the emotions kind of just took over.
Week after surgery was probably the most difficult week. Like, I really cried. But yeah, at the same time, I was also very happy because then the rehab starts. I'm someone who wants to do everything by myself. I don't like it if I have to ask for help. I realized, like, okay, this is gonna be a long journey.
The kind of person Jill is. She wants to know, right, okay, what's the process, what's the next steps.
It's actually nice to know that I can run, you know?
I think she was an inspiration to, to the other girls within the team as well, of how she'd approach the rehab.
Well, what about this for an applause? What an introduction for Jill Roord.